Need a little steel for this live video we get ready to go having. Look, I laid out. Liz, I know isn't here today, but I got these tools laid out. You think she'd be proud of them?
She would be proud of them.
Yeah.
I'm proud. I've never seen them in order like that.
Yeah. You've been messing with these scissors over here. These scissors were.
Oh, sorry.
Were there.
Got them all out of place.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a hammer out of sorts over here.
So, are people looking at us and hearing us right now?
Well, they're looking at the tools and they see us up in the corner over there. What do you think? We're here on a Friday.
Yeah, we're here on Friday. We're here for another round of saddle repair.
Saddle repair. You got your coffee?
I got my coffee. I've got my drill. I've got all sorts of tools.
We got all our tools. I got my water over there, but I'm gonna have to fill it back up in a little bit.
All right.
All right. Where did we get to? We flattened out our skirts and our jockeys. That's kind of what we did. We got these. We got these.
Everything's nice and flat again.
And you put a little Bontex and you did some stitching.
Yeah, what I stitched was this wear leather back on, because after we don't want to stitch through the lining to do that with, so I stitched it now. I also put some Bontex in here for a stiffener. Originally it had a piece of cardboard or some kind of a heavy paper in there.
And you got us some spots to tack back.
Yeah.
Covered it up on this side with the Bontex.
Yeah. They call those tie-ups.
Tie-ups instead of tie-downs.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we gonna do today? What are we gonna try to tackle?
The first thing let's do is let's put a new lining on these skirts that we got flattened out.
Now we've got all our tools. Let's move them all out of the way.
Mess them up.
All right. Oh, we did some stuff here on camera 3 too, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, the seat. We're putting a new padded seat in. I took the liberty of this is just 1/4-inch foam rubber. I just cut it to fit, and I'll show you how to fit that when we fit the.
Okay, and we just got
the padded part. Yeah.
Some camel suede or something like that.
Yeah, it's just sand colored suede or something like that. But I already cemented this foam in there. That's just to save time, because we've only got an hour or so to do this.
All right.
All right. The first thing we're going to do, and I've got a handy dandy Sharpie here, and this isn't rocket science here. I'm not going to cut this at all. I'm just giving myself a place to not only to glue to, but to when I go to place it back on, if I'm inside the lines, I won't be out of shape anywhere.
All right. Well,
hand me that.
I'm going to hand you that one.
And you can start spreading cement.
It's going to take a minute to put some glue on some things. Get these other parts so I don't just spread glue all over them.
And our new girl Star is going to love this. It'll make her day bright.
She might have pulled a Stacy and headed to lunch.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Made her be on camera last time, and he's like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I said, it's your one time only. If you want to be on camera and you're good with it, then we'll be done with it. Hey, we were talking about some things earlier, Denny, and we were going to do bar stools next week. Mm-hmm. We talked about doing bar stool covering on Wednesday and Friday. That might actually have to change.
Yes, it might if we aren't done with this.
Yeah, if we talk too much and don't get enough done, then we'll have to have a part 3 of saddle.
Yeah. Well, while you're doing that,
okay,
let me. I will show people kind of how I will fit this piece of leather for.
Okay. Let me. While you get that, I'm going to switch camera 3 to get you in the shot where I can stay out of it as well. All right.
Okay. Now, when I fit this, I'm not going to fit it just to this stitch line. I'm going to be a little bit bigger, because I definitely want to cover this stitch line with this new piece of foam rubber, or a new piece of leather that I do.
Your seat covering.
Yeah, my seat covering. That's what the word I was looking for.
I knew I was here for something.
All right. I know this is big enough. All right. Now I've got.
What do you need?
I need that dead weight that you've got over there.
Okay. There you are.
And this is just a bag of shot, bag of BBs, bag of whatever.
Bag of heavy stuff.
A brick, whatever you've got handy.
Yeah, brick might be weird.
Yeah, a brick would be weird.
Why are you covering that brick in leather? Use it as a dead weight. Keep talking, see what happens.
Yeah. I'm not going to worry about the back of this. What I am going to worry about is just one side, because I'm just going to mark one side. And I'm just going to lift it up and just kind of eyeball this as I go around. There again, this is definitely not rocket science. I've got that where I can see it. And this front part, I'm gonna actually fold it to the inside so I don't have to be real close on it. I'm gonna kind of try and find about my center here. Center the back there. All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Dean said he's having trouble getting his mini stool or his mini saddle to fit his bar stool.
Well, you got to use a little ingenuity, Dean. Just do whatever it takes.
He also wants to know if you could put a zipper somewhere on the saddle to hide some money.
A money saddle, huh?
Yeah, a money saddle.
Sure you can. Hide it in the seat.
And Charles says, I'm just yakety yakking all the time.
All right. Now I've got one half of this. Let me see here. If I can get where you'll...
Oh, switch your camera forward there, Chad.
Yeah. I've got one half of this marked. And I've got a center point front and back here. So what I'm going to do is cut this one part got marked.
Yeah, Charles, if I keep using this glue, I'm going to be yakety yakking a lot more. Chomping at the bit.
And trim this off. You can cut these edges a lot of different ways. A lot of people like to pink the edges, make little scallops on the edge. But for time's sake and for reality's sake.
Prosperity factor, too.
Yeah, we aren't going to do that on this saddle because...
Yeah, I know it was a little bit kind of a quilted pattern on there before, but we're just going to lay her down flat.
This will look fine. I just got it where this is going to fit good. It's going to cover everything. So take this and fold it over on these marks that I've got as far as the center goes. There's one. There's it.
We were talking or selling some snapping turtle tails yesterday. I think we're going to end up doing a video. Liz was trying to wear them as gauntlets. I think we're going to do a video on making snapping turtle gauntlets.
You mean on your arms?
Yeah. Like an inlay type of thing.
Well,
They got some big old spikes on them.
I bet you know what. In the U.S., I think those alligator snappers are
Yeah, that's what they are.
endangered, but
Well, they may not be alligator snapping turtles. They may just be, I don't know. I don't know where they get them. Not sure if they're alligators or crocodiles. Snapping turtles.
alligator or regular.
Yeah, Chet said he knew people that went out to those and were noodling for, not really noodling. You just grab them by the back of the shell and that's how they catch them.
Oh, shoot.
No, I don't think I'd be.
I don't think I'd be doing that either.
I like my fingers too much.
Yeah. Those things have a neck about 2 feet long.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm covered plenty good there. Y'all can see. So what I'm going to do now, make sure I'm kind of centered up there. Put my dead weight on here. And then I'm going to take my pencil and mark this edge. Here.
Dean said another video, money, saddle, bar stool.
Dean?
We need to go to Dean's house. I bet you we can find all sorts of money hidden behind zippers.
Yeah.
If you can find somebody to sew them zippers on.
He's got a bad money problem and we need to help him.
He likes to hide it. That's what's up.
Dean, if you would bring that here, I'll help you hide it. Okay. Now, I'm not going to glue this whole seat at one time. I'm going to glue half of it at a time.
That's so you can stretch it down a little bit more?
Well,
you ain't going to go any of it right now.
Get it so I can make sure I got it spaced right.
You mind if I finish gluing this?
You go right ahead. This is the first one you did?
No, this one. These two go together.
Okay. So, I think that's pretty good. You just want to make sure it's not wet. Your cement's not wet feeling it.
Is that what you were tapping it for, to make sure it was tacky?
Yeah, I was just, tacking it.
Tacking it. Check the tack.
All right. Now, we didn't pick the stitches on this, and I said we'll just make a new stitch line on the inside of it. But
yeah.
I stitched this wear leather back on through the original holes with the thread still in it and got by pretty good. So I'm going to try and stitch into the original holes.
Better you than me.
Okay. I'm going to the machine right
now.
now.
I'm gonna have to switch that camera on the machine because I had it pointed at the table.
Okay. It'll take me a second anyway to
get your stool over there. Me to yakety yak about something.
Yeah.
Make sure I do that.
Especially that.
All right. You get ready to sew and I'm gonna switch a camera.
Okay.
I think I like what I'm messing with there. Oh, did I plug it in? You get it turned on? Got the light of the world in there?
Are we on camera?
Oh yeah, we got a great shot going on there.
When I stitch skirts, I'll stitch this top part first because it is never seen. And if I'm having trouble, I can kind of get lined out. And like I said, I'm going to try and hit these original holes. I might have to adjust my stitch length.
Now you just kind of go and guess on it, or you could roll it by hand and...
I could roll it by hand, but I'm just going to take it easy.
That's why we're at the top of the skirt. That's never going to be seen anyway.
Right.
Get it dialed in up there.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do.
Denny, do you know what the difference is between a regular snapper and an alligator snapper?
Well, not really. I know they look different as far as their shell goes. An alligator snapper has a bunch of real snaggletooth looking stuff like an alligator on it. And a regular snapper has a quite a bit smoother shell.
The shell.
When you come down to it, they're both pretty homely creatures.
Yeah, I don't think I'd keep any of them in my home.
No.
I don't know what home you're trying to create. Terry Beeson asked, Terry is actually located in Springfield.
I know Terry.
Springfield, Missouri, as opposed to John, who's from Springfield, Oregon. But Terry asked, is there a schedule of your classes, your tooling classes?
Generally, the first and third Saturday of every month is a beginner's class.
First and third, beginners.
The second and fourth are an advanced to intermediate class.
Second and fourth, advanced intermediate. Do you need tools for that?
Yes, and
there's a list of the tools, and we'll share that brochure.
Yeah.
What's the cost?
Cost is $80.
$80.
It's a 1-day class. It goes from 9 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon.
$80 if it's intermediate or beginner?
Yes.
Okay.
And they both last all day, so if you don't have a very good concentration level.
Yeah. You take a break for lunch.
Yeah, we take an hour break. And any break you want, you know.
You want to pose the idea that we talked about yesterday as a planning?
You can, as a tentative plan.
We've been talking about how to make this available for more than just people that are able to come to Springfield. This came up because we were talking about a saddle making class and it being virtual. And before we tackle that beast, I think we're going to try to do a beginner's class that would be same type of thing, where we can have you in a Zoom meeting. Denny can look at your work and he'll be able to comment on it. But doing a class where he has people here in the retail store as well as virtual attendees to the class is a plan of attack. It's going to take a little bit to plan it out. We don't have cameras over in his area, so we may have to do it on here. It would still be on a Saturday. So that is our plan. And once we get more information, it will be out there in the social media world. John Rakestraw, that's from Springfield, Oregon, asked, can a broken bar on the tree saddle be fixed, or do you need to replace the whole tree?
John, you're better off replacing the whole tree. I've heard of people repairing the bar using fiberglass, but you always get a little asymmetry going.
The other part of it is
things aren't just perfect, and that'll make the horse sit funny on a horse, or the saddle will sit funny on the horse's back.
I tell you what, saddle fit is a huge thing, and horses get upset when something changes.
That's exactly right. Well, and the thing that it's just like a pair of shoes or a pair of boots. When you put a pair on, if they're, biting you somewhere, you can't walk. You refuse to walk, and things just aren't right. Plus it can cause permanent injury on a horse's back. It's an ill-fitting saddle.
Yep.
That came out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like it held really well. I think that Bontex,
same holes.
Instead of doing that cardboard like they had before, that Bontex is going to hold that stitch pretty well as well. So with the other one, I'm going to clip these and burn them.
Good idea.
Okay. I'm glad you approve.
There again, I'm starting up on the top side of this curve here. Won't be single. And this is a Class 3 machine that I'm using. I've got the size 207 thread in here.
Class 3 with 207 on top and the bobbin?
No, 138 on the bobbin.
138 on the bobbin.
Normally on a saddle, I would use a 277 on top and a 207 on the bottom. But this is a small saddle, and I'm stitching over these existing stitch holes, and I don't want to get a thread and a needle that's so big that it tears through these. It's stitched. So I'm using a bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. So normally on a saddle you do 277 and 207 on the bobbin.
Right.
But since we're going through the same thing, we didn't pick the threads, and it's a little bit smaller, we went down a thread size on both of them. Yeah. Tori Jones, Denny, sends us a paragraph of information.
All right.
The alligator snapping turtle is found primarily in the southeast United States, where the common snapping turtle can be found anywhere in North America. And the common snapping turtle does have the smooth shell, whereas the alligator snapping turtle has that spiny shell with a rough appearance. Both are meat eaters and very vicious, and you don't want them snapping on your body, hand and or other parts, like a leg.
So basically, for some reason or another, I was kind of about half right on what.
I mean, you got the shell part of it right. I don't think we talked about the location. We didn't want to pin them to a location because some of them could be migrants and just tootling around up in the Northeast. I don't know. I've never talked to a snapping turtle.
No.
But if they're vicious, they could be migrant as well. Like the monarch butterflies, I think they're migrating right now. Maybe they just jump on a butterfly's back and a butterfly takes them up or takes them down to, I don't know where.
Mexico.
That is where they go, Mexico.
Every summer. Yeah, my wife is a butterfly advocate. You know.
So we had somebody on the last video, the GM, I think is who it was, left a comment on it and asked a similar question to what Thomas Beckett is asking right now. Is there a better tree brand you can recommend? I know there's a tree brand that Denny uses. Springfield Leather used to sell some fiberglass trees, don't anymore. What was the brand of that saddle tree that you use? Are they in Kansas?
The tree company I used to use a lot was Bowden Saddle Tree Company.
Bowden, B-O-W-E-N?
Yes.
Or B-O-W-D-N or something like that.
B-O-W-D-E-N, I believe.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're a custom tree company. And they'll build you any kind of tree that you want. But, you know, there are lots of saddle tree companies. You know, and there's lots of, you know, Bowden is a custom saddle tree company. But there are lots of small custom tree makers.
So they make custom, but they also have stock trees that
They
you
have
can't.
a certain number of stock trees.
So they still make them, but
Yeah.
was making sure that I knew that my leg was part of my body. She's full of education today.
All right.
It's the reason I let her keep on coming back.
You will scoot over that way just a little bit.
Oh, what size needle? What size needle did you have? On the machine?
This is a 23 needle, size 23. And to trim this off, I'm just going to use a straight knife. And there again, I'm going to start up here on top. This is an acrylic lining. This is the fleece that we're using.
I set your scissors over there on that side. You think I could borrow them for a minute?
If you think you need them.
I appreciate you. For more than just handing me scissors. Did you get the left-handed ones?
No. You know, I've used right-handed scissors my whole life.
I'm with you.
And when I first got here, Deanna used to be our buyer, and she said, I'll get you a pair of left-handed scissors. I said, okay. And I couldn't use those things to save my life. They hurt me so bad.
My mom has a pair of fabric ones that are left-handed that I've tried to use, and I'm like, where are the normal scissors? I think we just kind of overcome the defaults that have been dealt to us, Denny, in the scissor world, and we just make it happen.
Right. Well, we're used to it because you've got to make, people don't realize this, but when you squeeze a pair of scissors together, you've got to make the blades mesh together. Mm-hmm. And if you use opposite than what we've been used to, you're actually spreading those blades apart and you can't make them cut.
I know. Yeah, I'm used to the way that I have to push to make sure that they are right together. You know, because there is a little bit of pressure. Like I pull back with my thumb and I push forward with my other fingers to make sure that is there. And I use the left-handed ones. They feel funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, these things right here, they're in an angle, and they're actually wrong for us lefties. But we're used to it.
They feel right. Right. They feel correct. After you get going, I think we stick our fingers through more than the normal person. I don't know. Yeah. I would ask Chad, but I think Chad's left-handed too, aren't you? No, he's right-handed. How do you hold your scissors, Chad? You're not going to need to switch cameras. You can just come over and hold these scissors. You won't even have to do it on camera. Yeah. Oh, see, he sticks his fingers I guess he sticks his even further through, or he sticks
Oh, you put your thumb in the long slot?
Sometimes.
Really?
It doesn't matter either way.
You are an odd man.
You are. Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if my right hand feels all right.
Yeah.
Somebody's calling me. Angela says, "Hey, Denny, random question.
I'm
Do
ready.
you think an interchangeable skirting of sorts could be placed over the existing skirt so you could change the color? Oh, like a sleeve? That would be tough because it'd be going up to the tree. Really, the only thing would be like a saddle pad for me, putting a layer over the top of your saddle pad. I guess you could put a skirt. Put a skirt on your skirt, put a sleeve on your skirt.
Yeah, just build a little envelope that you could
There you
put over your skirt,
What if if you had like an elastic in there and maybe up underneath and maybe over the top where it goes behind the cantle and around the pommel, you could make I guess you could. You design one, I bet you could make millions off of it.
Angela, yeah, I was just going to say, there's your first million.
Yep.
But we want to cut.
We talked you through this little planning stage. That 15 seconds we took.
Yeah, we're giving you moral support here.
It's at least 50-50 split, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you need to have 25 and I got to have 25. And we'll leave her with the other 50. Dean says, I used to trap snapping turtles in Minnesota for food. Not the alligator ones, because Tori has told us that those are in the southeast. You could.
No, there are alligator snappers here. I've seen them.
Did you pet them?
Not for long.
He said
Once.
He said you sever the head and put a piece of wood in front of it, and they bite down and clamp on it, and they never let go.
Yeah, my granddad used to tell me they won't let go till it thunders.
And Jessica says, the next Facebook post. How do you hold your scissors? Post a pic below. Abigail? She said she was going to be watching. Hopefully she's all over that. That looks really good. We talked about moving the stitch inside of it. I see that you kind of started maybe putting a line, or maybe that's where the foot on it.
I put a line there, and then when I stitched these on, I thought I'm just going to try it through those holes, because the worst that could happen is I'd have to cut a new piece of leather there. And it stitched fine.
So you're going to leave it like that? Do you trim it like you do your shearling?
We'll trim it, but I'm gonna see what happens when I use an edger on it and edge this a little bit.
Okay. I'd get you here. Let me get by so I can get another camera angle. Chad probably want another We're done with the sewing machine, right, Denny?
For the moment, yeah. When I put that to glue that seat down.
Oh yeah, because we took it off. I don't know if you can see anything there, Chad, or not. Oh, sure you can. Thank you. Appreciate that compliment.
Yeah, I'm just using a number 3. This is a Western type edger. I always called them a fork edger.
That was what I was just about to ask. That would be what you call the fork edger?
Yes. But I'm just trimming the sharp edge off of this lining that we just put in.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty well. And then I'm going to let you just go crazy with the scissors while I glue this padded seat down.
You did this one already?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now what I got to caution people about when you're doing a new lining, don't trim this top part. Just trim the outside edge that you see. If you trim the top part, it lets the skirt rest against the horse's back and makes a little lump there. This stuff that it helps.
Leaves you a little gap there.
Yeah. But anyway, so just trim this part out here that you see.
Do I need to trim it? Do I need to fold it out like you did, like that? And
Yeah,
then trim it off?
yeah. In fact, I generally trim them 2 or 3 times. I
Do you
trim
trim
them and then kind of go like that, and it gets
Do you trim it from this side, or do you trim it from this side?
whichever side you can trim it from.
All right. We gotta rub it like this.
Yeah.
Wake up all our fibers.
And I know there's some people that will use a set of animal clippers on it.
Jim brought us a pair of hair clippers the other day when we were trimming that real, not the synthetic.
Yeah, but for what we're doing now, scissors works a lot better.
Close enough is good enough. Well, we were doing that because we were trying to be able to see where we were stitching.
Exactly.
We were making a trick saddle strap.
Oh, that's right. I forgot what we were doing.
Yeah.
And that worked out good, huh?
Yeah, she threw her Stroud trick. I got some pictures of it. They're on my Facebook, my photography Facebook. Synthetic fleece versus wool versus real. Pros, cons, if we haven't already covered it.
If this was a really nice saddle,
Circle Y
or a handmade saddle,
a Denny Low special.
When I had my saddle shop, I didn't give people a choice. If they wanted me to reline it, I always did it with sheepskin, natural shearling. But you know, for an old saddle like this, and it's a child saddle, it's not going to get a lot of abuse, other than just neglect. You know, I'm gonna use this acrylic fleece.
More cost effective. Plus, it's not one that we would normally repair. By we, I mean Denny.
Well, it's not something that most people would want to pay the money to have repaired. Because, and I don't know nowadays, I haven't bought a kid's saddle in a long, long time. I bought one years ago. But you used to be able to buy a kid's saddle for $200 or $300. And we're doing, if I was charging someone, probably $500 worth of work on this thing easily.
All right, so Jeff R says use a beard trimmer on your electric razor to trim the fleece. Yep, that's what we were just kind of talking about.
All right. Now I'm gonna reach across here and get this cement.
Let me switch this camera on it quick. All right.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna. I've drawn a line, a pencil line on here.
Yeah, you can kind of. Let's see. That's it, right kind of along here. This is where old stitches were. We're gonna go down just a little bit over it, just because those are pretty shot.
Yeah. Well, and because I don't want to be that precise with my measurement, you know, the first time around they did it how they did it. It's awful hard to match that if you're going to redo it. So make it bigger and make your own line. So like I said, I'm just doing about half of this time around. After the cement dries and I stick it down, then I'll peel the other half back and cement it.
Michael S says when the wool and synthetic stuff gets wet, which dries out faster?
Actually, the acrylic won't actually get wet. It'll get water in it, but it won't absorb water because it's a synthetic material.
Yeah, it doesn't like you gluing it very well either.
Yeah.
Just kind of sits on top.
Yeah. But the wool, definitely, it takes longer for it to dry out. But water won't hurt it.
What would be, I mean, other than just using it because it looks nicer, is there any other benefits to it?
To the actual wool skin?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more padding. You know, I don't know if any of you ever hike, but if you hike wool socks are always better. They're more absorbent. They're more shock absorbent.
Yep. Most trail socks are, because you'll run through creeks.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Trail running socks.
Yeah. So, you know, and the same thing applies to a saddle. But the sheepskin actually has more loft to it. You know, it's thicker. It will stand up higher.
Yeah.
A brand new sheepskin, you have to break in because it does stand up so high, and it'll make your saddle a little bit
poofy. Sit up high.
It'll make it.
When you cinch.
When you cinch it down, you know, 10 minutes later you'll need to re-cinch it because it'll settle.
Jumping on and off the whole time. Susan Knott said, "Sorry I came in late. Is that lamb's wool off a synthetic lamb?" Yes.
Yeah, this is they call it acrylic fleece. They used to call it Codell. I think that used to be a brand name.
Like Kleenex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facial tissue.
Yes. Nowadays, what is it? The hook and loop fastener.
Oh, Velcro.
Velcro. Yes, that's a brand name.
Yeah, Velcro is a brand name. It's not Velcro. Hook and loop tape.
Everyone calls hook and loop fastener Velcro, though. I'm sorry, Velcro company.
You did a great job.
People can't help it.
Great job branding your name. We're going to use it for everything.
All right. Now I'm just going to stick this part down that I've got cemented. Move my dead weight forward.
Sorry, I'll move. Oh, not that, not me.
That dead weight.
Oh, okay, sorry. Angela asked, does it need or can natural wool be cleaned or conditioned while on the saddle?
No, just take a good stiff brush and
brush it out.
Brush the cockleburrs and stuff out of it every once in a while.
I mean, just like you don't really want to get it wet underneath it.
Yeah.
Good chance to, if it doesn't dry properly, then you're gonna get that molding situation going on.
Yeah. And another thing, a bark tanned shearling as opposed to a chrome tanned shearling will last 10 times longer. A regular bark tanned wool shearling won't get brittle like a chrome tanned will. I've seen saddles that were lined with a chrome tanned shearling, and after a few years they get brittle and just start to chip apart.
I mean, they wear pretty well. My daughter has that saddle she's had for a year, and she rides just dang near every day, and it still looks pretty good. Just brush it back out, clean it. That's how you're cleaning it, is just brushing it.
Yeah.
Knock the dirt off of it.
If I got a bunch of dirt, like if you drop your saddle in the dirt or in the weeds or something and get a bunch of those little stick tights or beggar's lice or whatever they call them.
Right.
Yeah, just take a good stiff horse brush and.
You know, and the horse will sweat on it. Usually, if you ride a distance, that horse will sweat through that saddle pad. Start to get your shearling wet. Get you an extra brush on there. Brush it back up.
Like I said, the water really won't hurt it.
I mean, we dipped our skirts all the way in water. That's when we got them straightened back out. What do you think about that skirt? You all right with it? Maybe
Looks good to me.
Maybe some down here a little bit.
Well, that's something after you get it on the saddle. If you got a spot that looks like it needs a little trim,
take it back to the barber.
You can still trim it.
Take it back to the barber.
Okay. Now, if y'all notice this part right back here, I didn't pay too much attention to, because after I get it laid down, then I can pull that back and stretch it nice and tight. Cement it.
Let it tack up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let me clean up our table mess a little bit.
All right. I'll just dry this.
You can take that back with you and cut it into pads?
No, but you're welcome to.
Nope, I'll put it right there. File it away in that file.
Okay, now I'm gonna.
Maybe we could give it away to somebody.
There you go. Pre-stressed.
Denny has cut on this. About $400 or $500 worth of shearling right there.
There you go.
Got a low cut on it.
All right. Now, like I said, I didn't cement that very good. In fact, I'm not going to do that till we cement the seat down to the saddle again,
Okay.
permanent. What I'm going to do, I've got this part here that's that I'm going to fold under. So, do we need to kind of switch cameras while I do this?
Yeah, we'll go with it. Chad coming. He's got you there on the
All
overhead.
right. I'm going to kind of just make a little split here in the middle, just to kind of release a little bit of tension on this.
That way it doesn't curl as bad whenever you fold it up.
Well,
you're going to curl it up underneath there?
Yeah, I'm going to curl it like that. Now, we'll get the hairdryer out. I'm just going to do this the very center part first because it's the part that has to really stretch. Come over here, and if you'll notice, I've got a little.
I got you shot on camera 3 there, Chad.
Now I'm going to cut a little bit out of this because I've got a big bunch of extra material there, because when it comes around that outside corner, it needs to shrink, and it won't shrink that far.
You can help it shrink though. By
You
removing
can shrink it by cutting part of it out. Okay. Now I'm going to take my handy little French edger wherever I put it. If I brought it.
Oh, you sharpened ours, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
There you are.
As a matter of fact, thank you. And it worked pretty well, too.
You did a good job of it. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Jessica asked, do you think that refleecing a saddle is a realistic first saddle related project?
Ideally, no. But, you know, there's a first for everything.
I mean, we've done kind of 2 videos, and if we need to, I'll just ship Denny up north.
There you go. I'm headed your way.
He needs a place to fish and a place to rest his head. That's all he asks for.
All I need. All right. Okay, I'm going to go back to the machine now, and I'm going to stitch this.
All right. While you walk over there, I'm going to follow you and move the camera, and they can just look at our nice backdrop for a second until I say okay. I like them cowboy boots you got on, Danny.
Do you?
I know. I was trying to figure out what size you wore, see if I can snag them up. All right, you're good, Chad. You just kind of eyeballing your,
I'm just eyeballing it. I'm getting as close to the edge as I can get.
just following your foot width.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this stitch going to go up, all the way up and around?
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't need to back stitch that at the beginning.
No, there is a rosette that's going to
Oh,
go in that part right.
You're exactly right. There's another piece that goes there.
It's not going in.
Is that shot good for everybody? They see that all right? I think so.
What's the age on the saddle, do you know?
So the girl that we're doing it for, she's 29. And I think they got it new for her whenever she was little. Maybe when she started riding when she was 5 or 6. So it's got a little age on it.
It's not overly old, but I think it spent some time in the hen house.
It was in the barn, not ridden for a while, whenever she outgrew it, before she got her own barn and started teaching lessons.
All right. I think we're done with the machine for now.
Okay. Well, I'll move it later. Move that camera in a minute.
Yeah, you can just
Pull our strings to the inside, clip them off, give us something to burn. Ooh, I left a lot on that one. We'll melt them down though. You know,
actually, a melted end like that is better than a knot because it kind of welds itself to the leather.
yeah, well, especially since when I left it that long, it melted down in there. And I used the end of the burner to do it instead of my finger. Because they are hot.
Yes. What was melted nylon?
I got a scar on my hand from melted nylon. We were melting it in class.
Yeah. All right. It looks pretty good, don't you think?
I think it looks great, but I don't have a camera shot of it so everybody else can see it.
Okay.
All right, see what you think on camera 3, Chad. Looks real nice.
Let's see if I can get it where people can get a good profile on it.
You can see the way that padding kind of smashed down and is starting to stand up a little bit. Looks nice.
Yeah. Okay. It's time to put the skirts back on, but I didn't notice this one rivet gone until this morning.
Yep.
So let's put another rivet in that. That's why I brought that bench iron back over here. But I didn't bring any clippers with me.
I got a set here, but they might squeeze. The last time we tried to use, they were brass. And those didn't work like hoop.
Yeah.
It might be better than copper.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Do you want to set this rivet while I go get a pair of clippers?
I can probably do it without malfunctioning it. Just waste enough time and say that I'm just adjusting cameras until you get back.
That would be good.
Let's see if we can manage to not screw this up. One more good one. Not quite there yet. All right. Let's see if I can clip it using these funky ones. Ooh. Ugh. Man, they're dull, they're short. All right, we'll have to wait till he gets back. That's not happening. I ain't got enough lead in my boots. Rick says, hello from Wisconsin. Love what you guys do. Someday I'd like to meet Denny. He's a very talented man. Here comes Denny right now. You can meet him. Rick, say hello to Denny. Hey, Denny, I'd like you to meet somebody. Denny Lowe, meet Rick Doe.
Well, Rick, hello. How are you?
Probably not the meeting he was talking about.
If you want to meet, come on down. Either that or buy me a plane ticket. I'm there.
And a place to fish. Don't forget that.
Yeah, a place to fish.
I tried to do it with them other ones. They didn't work very good. All right.
You got this down to a science now, don't you?
You showed me a time or two.
And everybody do as we say, not as we do. Don't use a steel hammer on your tool.
It's Denny's tool, so.
But we always use, when I set rivets, I always use.
I don't hate it,
Looks good to me.
especially since you didn't have to do it.
Yeah, that's the best part.
All right. Domy Domerson.
Very nice.
You know, the first, I hadn't been working here very long. I come in and Denny, you were showing me some things, and I was using a metal top tool. And you had handed it to me, and you had handed me a metal hammer, and I was hitting on it. Rusty said, "You better not. He better not let Denny catch you." And I said, "He's the one that handed me the tools."
Well, the rule is, here's the thing. When you use a metal hammer on a metal tool, if I don't know, can we shoot? You can see that little mushroom that's starting around the edge. Mm-hmm. Grind that off every once in a while.
Then nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the only thing. A lot of the older tools used to be chrome plated. The steel hammer would knock some of that chrome plating off too.
I just got some nails from whenever we were pulling stuff apart that were still hanging up there.
Yeah.
Just
Let's look at the bottom of it.
Okay.
Make sure there's none there.
There was a little bit of crack in the tree, but it ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah. Won't show. Here's a nail that's sticking through. This old Dobbin wouldn't like very much.
Is that what your horse's name is, Dobbin?
That's probably what hers is.
Oh.
Alright. Okay. Let's put the skirts back on.
Okay.
We'll do one skirt at a time.
Michael said if money was not an issue, which would be better from a horse's perspective?
As far as lining goes,
Fixing a saddle or buying a new saddle for the horse?
oh, that's backwards. No wonder that wasn't fitting right.
Yeah, it didn't look right. You're like, what did I do?
If money wasn't an issue,
Buy a Denny Lowe saddle.
well,
Oh.
you know, a handmade saddle, you know, traditionally is better than a production made saddle. But that's not saying that a production made saddle is bad. So, you know, if you've got a decent saddle and it needs a little work, do the work on it.
Yep. Nick asked, he wanted me to ask you, a synthetic shearling on a gun case or in a gun case? He's heard it's not good to use the synthetic inside a gun case, like a rifle scabbard or...
If it's a gun case that you're going to keep a gun stored in, the synthetic or sheepskin is not good because they will both retain a little bit of moisture.
Yeah.
You know, so it's best not to store a gun in a enclosure like that.
And then somebody redeemed the old Denny burn, so we'll have to see how that works out.
They redeemed it, huh?
Yeah, they can spend points on Twitch for a Denny burn.
I'm going to take this spike here and try and find this one nail hole. There it is. This hole right here.
You may hold this in there?
Well, let me get a couple of nails. Alright, that's okay. You can let go now before I hit you with the hammer.
That would be a Denny ouch instead of a burn.
Get this nail started here.
Anything special about your nails?
Nope. I use about a 1-inch nail. There's nothing special. Don't use ring shanks. Because the next person who has to repair this saddle will hate your guts for the rest of your life. And There's two. Just use it. Actually, in years gone by, they wanted a nail to kind of rust and corrode because that kind of grips into the tree. You know, eventually it'll rust through, but 100 years from now,
it'll be formed just right.
Yeah. It's not going to hurt anything. Get the other on here.
So you found the nail hole in the skirt, and then you found where in the tree
where it used to be.
Where it used to be.
Yeah, that way I can mount the skirts back to the same place they were.
Not going to use the same nail hole. That's what you use your spike for.
Right.
To line up. You may hold that nail for you?
Yeah, if you want to.
Not very bad.
All right. Now let's turn this dude around this way.
These nails aren't for structural purposes. Just kind of hold it in place at first before.
Yes, just to hold it in place to keep it from.
And then we'll use our tie-ups to.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Really get after it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm just gonna make a hole, and you just want one nail in these tie-ups is all you need.
See, can we spin a little bit more? Will that help you out?
Will it help you?
Well, it'll help that camera see it. Plus, I can make it sound like it's helping you, so everybody can see what you're doing. But you've let it all out now. The cat's out of the bag. Just poking a hole in your.
Yeah.
What'd you make your straps out of, or your tie-ups out of?
These are just a little piece of Latigo or oil tan leather or something. They don't have to be heavy.
No, they were pretty light when I was holding on to them. I could even lift them. Got any good saddle jokes?
I'm not thinking of any right now.
I put you on the spot there.
My wife always says, "Tell me a story." Doesn't that put you on the spot when you have to come up with a story?
Well, what do you usually tell?
Well, it's some kind of a lie most of the time. But
You didn't say it for it to be true. You just wanted a story. How do you think Paul Bunyan came about?
that's a story I'm going to tell her next time.
About a blue ox?
Yeah.
Don't just change the names in the story. Make the ox a different color, and she'll never know until you get to the end. Unless she's watching the YouTube video.
If you'll notice, I bent that nail over, and I did that on purpose because I didn't want it to stick through the tree because that's
a longer nail?
Yeah. If I had some shorter nails, I would be using them.
You may gnaw them off?
That's plenty good enough. It's not pretty, but no one's going to see this anyway. This part of it is.
Sorry, Chad, I got stuck in this corner.
This is what you call infrastructure.
Infrastructure. You look good right there. As soon as you got it, then you spun it around and couldn't see no more.
Am I good there?
Oh, you're good. That's what everybody keeps telling me. People like that question and answer that we had with you and Kevin together.
Did they?
Same type of thing. Nail probably a little bit long when it come out the back of the tree.
Yeah. All it's got to do is stick in there because, you know, this isn't going to fall off. Stuff rarely, if ever, falls up.
Oh, it doesn't fall up?
No.
I'll keep that in mind. next time I try falling.
But it just kind of to give it a home.
A home for your nail.
But those nails that we bent over on the underside of the tree.
Yeah.
See, they should have done this.
Yeah, they should have. We'll go back and teach them a thing or two. Jackie says, I really want to build a saddle. Looking for a class, a school, or an individual to help me. Isn't there a saddle making school in Montana?
There are several. I couldn't name any in particular right now. I think there's a guy named Jesse Smith. I think he's in Pritchett, Colorado. And if I'm not mistaken, he has a saddle class, and he's a very capable saddle maker.
He bends his nails over?
He bends his nails over.
Good.
He'd be right with me.
That's what we were kind of talking about earlier, Jackie, was if the beginner tooling classes in a live video type of setting work out, then we'll try to do it live saddle making and see if we can't make it a new adventure.
Where? Jackie, is that her name?
Yeah.
Jackie, where are you at?
Where are you located, Jackie, if you don't mind? And if you do mind, then just
say never mind.
make up a different answer. I don't know where Denny's going with this.
Well, I was just thinking if you were somewhere local, you know, because to do a saddle making class, a video or a live deal,
an online class,
you know, I would have
class.
to have a live class also. I was thinking if she was close enough, if I could get a couple other people, that would make a nice size class.
I want to build a saddle for myself.
Okay, there's
one.
We just need one more.
I wonder if Terry Beeson's still around here. Terry, do you want to build a saddle? He's local. I'd ask Chad, but he probably doesn't want to build a saddle. Maybe we can talk Denny and Tony and do those little saddle kits on the live. What do they call those little bitty ones? You had that little bitty tree that that sales guy would bring around. Look at my tree.
Saddleman sample.
A saddleman sample.
Yeah, if I could get those little trees, those would be great.
Yeah, Michael was talking and we could get us to build one so we could see the difference of building a saddle versus repairing one. Basically the same thing with more steps. Oh, and Dean wants to make sure there's a zipper in the saddle.
Well,
we could make a pommel bag and put a zipper in that, and then you can hide your money in your pommel bag.
Yeah.
And you made a cantle bag. We could put money in that.
I've got a pommel bag too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Could you make a money bag? Is that like a saddle bag?
Yeah.
We'll market it as Dean's special money bag for saddles.
Next time I go to the grocery store and they say paper or plastic, I'll say paper, and I'll give you that bag.
Hey, look what I got on.
Oh, nice.
I got a money belt on today.
You do.
It ain't got no money in it because I gave the money back to you that you left in it.
That 100?
Well, I switched that with a dollar bill.
That thing. Yeah, I noticed that lady.
You didn't put no $100 bill in there.
I could swear I did.
You must have got another raise.
No. That's the one I found out here in the parking lot.
Oh, just happened upon it. You know, you say that. When I was little, my dad and I and my older brother, we used to do a lawn mowing business on the weekends. And we mowed this yard, and there was a bunch of trees in it, and there was no reason at all that money should have been coming out of it. My dad was mowing. He backed that lawnmower up. You'll never guess what popped out of that chute. $100 bill.
You're joking.
I ain't joking at all. It didn't cut it up or nothing. It was full. He started yelling, boys, you got to check this out.
All right, where are we time-wise?
Still on Friday.
Okay, we've got time. I'm going to glue this seat back in.
We got Jessica said she's in. Chevy guy says he would come. Abby, who was local, just north of town, said she would join a saddle making class. She actually is on my part of the Sweethearts team. How long does it take to make a saddle? Jackie said she will sign up. She didn't tell us where she was from. She said she'd sign up.
For a saddle class, 1 day a week, the last class I had was 13 weeks.
And how long a class did you do? You did on a
all
Saturday.
Day long on Saturdays.
All day on a Saturday, 8 hours.
13 weeks, yeah.
So 8 times 13. But they worked on some of the tooling stuff at the house.
Yeah, the saddle class is strictly a mechanics class. It's not anything about tooling. Well, I told the people when they were here if they wanted to tool their saddle, do it on their own time because we were working on trying to build this saddle.
Well, the saddle that you made for the class, you did a rough out, right?
Yeah, complete rough out. There was no tooling whatsoever on it.
Little fear, Denny is bending over the nails because it's not very good with the hammer.
Good.
No, those nails that he was using were too long, and so they would go through the tree, and then we'd have to bend them over on the backside, which is not preferred. So bend it over on the top side, give a little more meat to grab through there, and it doesn't go through the tree and poke a horse.
By rights, if I was prepared, I would be using like a 5/8 inch blued carpet tack.
Yeah, you don't want to poke your horse with the nail.
No.
They don't like it.
Yeah, they will buck you off.
Yeah. Twice on Sunday.
Yes. All right. Now, to glue this down,
William O'Neill says, if you can make me a leather patch for my Swift Army knife, he's definitely interested. That sounds like a pretty good trade-off. Get him to sign up for the saddle class.
you want me to make you a pouch for an army knife and you want to build a saddle?
I didn't say that he was going to get the class for free.
Oh.
I just said he's going to get signed up for it. Jackie says she's from Wathena, Kansas. I've heard of a lot of places in Kansas. That's not one of them.
I don't know how far that is from Springfield, but...
I know where Wichita is.
Yeah.
I know where Topeka is. Manhattan.
The last saddle class that I did, I had a guy that drove for 13 weeks to Springfield from Pea Ridge, Arkansas.
Pea Ridge, Arkansas.
And
what about 3?
And that's about 3.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
But every day, every
Saturday. He still comes up here every now and then, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I've been pretty lucky. Most of the people that I've dealt with are repeat customers. I didn't make any of them mad enough where they never come back again.
Good. I still let you on a video, so you haven't made me mad enough. They let me still shoot them, so everybody must be happy enough with the videos. Here. Let me move you over the camera a little bit. Chad's gonna readjust his camera. Oh, look. We got Denny set up right. Denny's in a good spot now.
For now, till I move again.
Yeah, he may be an old dog, but he's great at learning new tricks. I think those Denny burns are supposed to go the other way, though. That live shopping that we did yesterday, Liz said she was going to kick me in the shins or something like that.
How'd that go?
I didn't ever make her fully mad enough to buy St. Joseph, Missouri.
St. Joe, you could make it down here for a saddle class.
Oh, yeah, that drive ain't so bad.
Yeah, you just got to do it once a week for 13 weeks.
And if I'm involved with it, it may be 14 weeks, because we'll have one whole class of just talking. We're going to talk about making a saddle before we make a saddle.
The way that I always do my saddle classes is I'll build a saddle. I'll cut one part and fit one part, and then the students will cut and fit the part on their saddle. That way they have some idea how to go about it.
And you can go around and check the class out.
I will coach them as they do their part. And that's always worked out pretty well. They always come out with a pretty decent first saddle. You know, most people, when they say, I want to learn to build saddles, most people say, I want to learn to build a saddle. And that's what they want to do, is build themselves a saddle.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's kind of, in a way, that's detrimental to them as far as learning how to build a saddle, because what I try to teach is the technique to build any saddle, you know, the basic on any saddle.
Build saddles.
Right. So,
well, like I said, we're still venturing. Michael asked, is the saddle class going to be in person or online? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
If we do it, the answer will be yes. That's the hope. Don't really want to do it online only. It's better if he has a class to be able to help. So when they're cutting stuff out, that he can come around and look at the video of you doing it, and we switch between the other online students where he can help everybody, and everybody gets the most benefit out of it.
Yeah, you all can watch the students that are here live doing what they do, and you can not only get the benefit of watching me do it, but you can get the benefit of watching them doing it. And if they're making mistakes or going about it the wrong way, you know, you can see me point out. And another thing, you know, you can take a saddle class from 10 different saddle makers and learn 10 different ways to build a saddle. So
yeah, it'll probably be like a Zoom meeting and then a private video on YouTube so that we can document it and have it afterwards, so that the students would be able to go back and watch those videos as well.
Right.
Terry Beeson said, with you and me and Tony, it might take 18 weeks. With as much exotic as I've sold Terry and he's picked up, we may make him an elephant and ostrich saddle.
There you go.
You ever made exotics on a saddle, or put exotics on a saddle?
Oh yeah, I put in ostrich seats. I put in alligator seats. Shoot, that little miniature salesman sample that I did, I put in an alligator seat.
Oh, that right, it does have gator on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we got our. Do we need to do anything, or just let that glue sit?
Yeah, we'll just let that sit. And that's about all we're going to do for today. We were going to leave the original stirrup leathers on here.
Let's have a look at these before we go. Well, if you got any questions, this is kind of the wrapping up point. We're going to talk about this. If you got any questions, we'll go over them as Chad puts them up on the screen.
Yeah, we were going to use these original stirrup leathers, but I think we're going to change them because these are starting to check pretty bad.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Well, we got them cleaned off, got the dirt off of them, got them limbered up a little bit to where you could bend them. They're checked pretty bad. So we did put a rivet in it. We know how to take that out.
Oh, sure. But between now and next week, I'll put new stirrup leathers on here. And next week, I think the main thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to cement all this down and put that cantle binding back on. And it's got to be hand stitched. So
I'll get my fingers ready to be poked.
Yeah, you know, and that's something that's probably a 2-hour job to stitch that binding back.
We'll get it glued on there. We'll show how to start with it, how you can poke with your awl, and then we'll go from there. We're not gonna. It's not gonna be a 2-hour stream.
Yeah.
Chad, you got any questions popping up? Oh, do you have something else you want to tell me about?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was. Hand me those back jockeys. I'm going to set those on here.
We did flatten it out.
We don't want these to curl up the wrong way.
So with these back jockeys, we flattened them all the way out. They were still flat, and when they went in out of the water, they were still drying. Then he cupped them. We set them back on the tree part of it and let it lay back over this saddle rigging set up here to let it fold back over and make a nice shape on it.
Yeah.
That way, when you put it on there, it still folds and holds nice. Wouldn't the ostrich be uncomfortable to sit on? They're pretty fast too. It'd be pretty hard to catch an ostrich and put a saddle on it.
I've seen people ride an ostrich.
Have as well. Ostrich is pretty soft. I mean,
yeah, it's something. If you're that tender, you're probably going to get saddle sore no matter what you're riding on.
After a while, it might be like a massage area, just pushing on your pressure points. All right. Chad, I believe, over on Twitch is going to hang out for the after party.
Oh, not today, next week.
Okay, Chad is not going to hang out on the after party, so probably it'll be me taking these stirrup leathers off these fenders, and we'll probably cut some new stirrup leathers.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe I can talk you into, will you help me do that? You got plans? Not
I
quite
always
much.
have plans, but I might help you later.
All right. Well, next week we'll do this on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Try to finish up on Wednesday, and then we'll do bar stools on Friday, tentatively. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Hope you guys had a great week. Thanks for hanging out with us for these live videos. I know I yammer on them quite a bit. Denny makes fun of me, and I make fun of him, and we have a good time.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend.
Bye, folks. See you next week.